everyone. Welcome to our mindfulness and movement class today. Get the volume up a little bit lower. Hopefully you can all see me okay. So today we have the lovely sound of a thunderstorm in the background. Hopefully we get lots of rain, but not a lot of thunder and lightning. I think that part already passed. But anyway, just so you know, it's raining outside. And hi, my name is Tamara, and I am here with the University of California, Davis, and the Liberal Department, transmitting for you, sharing with you these classes all the way from Cali, Colombia. Our class today is going to be a very mellow and restorative type of practice, and we will need a few things. One of the things that I recommend you to find is a tennis ball. It can be also a lacrosse ball, or any ball about the size of a tennis ball. I have used sometimes my doggy's balls, and it works just fine. As long as it has a little bit of squish to it, it should work really well. All right, and we will also need a open floor space, some yoga mats, blankets, or towels, so that you can feel very comfortable rolling around on the floor. So we're going to do a lot of like self-massaging with the ball. Should feel really good on our back. And hopefully the dogs don't steal the ball. There is Salchi. She is obsessed with the ball. So I'm going to keep it away. In the meantime, Salchi, this ball is not for you. All the doggies are in the room. We'll see how it goes. Maybe we get some puppy cuddles as part of our therapy. Huh? What do you say? Some puppy cuddles? This is the little baby. Little baby Callie James saying hi. Hey, hello. All right. You puppies, cuddle. I'm gonna hide the ball until we need it. Okay, the other thing that we'll need is to be close to a sofa or a chair or the edge of the bed. So we're going to put our legs up on the bed, and it'll be super relaxing, guaranteed. So just start thinking, about where you're going to place your yoga mat and access to that bed or chair for that relaxing part. That is going to be awesome. All right. So first, I would like to invite you to get comfy. Make sure that you're warm and that you have layers. Because when we come into restorative poses and we're not moving, we can get very cold. That's the puppies playing over here on the side. They'll fall asleep soon. It always happens that way. Okay, so let's start in a comfortable seated position. And I took 2 cushions to sit on top. Someone lost their toy. Here. Hey. Okay. All right. So you can sit cross-legged as I am, or you can bend your knees and take your feet back. The important thing is to have those cushions so that your hips can be a little bit higher than your knees. And that's going to allow your hips to relax and also your spine to be extended. I am going to switch to the cross-legged because that is how I feel most comfortable. Once you've found your seated position of choice, bring your hands to your hips and just do a few tilting movements back. Are we still live? Seems like we're still live. Okay. All right, seems like we're still live. And take your hips in circles, adjusting to our seat. And go in both directions. This movement also helps to release some tightness in our hips so we can sit more comfortably. And let's do a little bit more movement before we stay still. Inhale, reaching one arm up and over. Exhale to come back to center. Reach for the floor, and with the other arm, inhale, up and over. And exhale back to center. Repeat twice more. Big breaths, expanding the sides. And rest your hands on your thighs. Close your eyes. Big inhale, exhaling through your mouth. And let your body soften and drop into its seat. We'll take this moment of quiet stillness to really check in and feel where we're at. Feel what's going on in our body. And also feel what it is that we need. What is our body calling for right now? Notice if there's any part of your body that is uncomfortable or that is experiencing discomfort in the form of aching, of maybe tightness. And acknowledge it. Instead of blocking it and ignoring it as we usually would do during the day, we're going to take a moment, this moment, to really pay attention to it, to listen to what our body needs. The places that are sore, tight, uncomfortable are places that need more attention. And that's what we're going to do in this class. So scan your body, checking in for all those interesting feelings, sensations. And we'll hold quiet stillness in this scanning, body scanning for 10 breaths, and I'll count them for us. deep breath. Exhale through your mouth. And slowly open your hands, open your eyes, and take a big breath. Reaching the arms up and over. Exhale, drawing your hands together to your center, and let's repeat twice more. And open your arms wide out to the sides. Open the chest. Reach out through the fingertips. On your exhale, wrap your arms around you, reaching for the shoulder blades. And let your elbows drop in, drop down, belly in, round your back. Notice which arm is on top. Inhale, open up the arms again. Exhale, wrap the other arm on top. And curl in. And release. Let's remove the cushions and put them to the side. Saji, we're not going to play with the ball yet. And let's come to our mat. I have a blanket and a towel. Let's make sure that you have all the elements you need to be very comfortable. Sachi, we're not going to play with the ball yet. Go to your bed. All right. Let's see if we can play some music. While I get the music going, go ahead and come to lay on your back on your mat. Just adjusting a little bit. Okay, perfect. All right. Bend your knees, bring the feet to the floor. Bring your hands to your hips. Lift your hips just a little bit, and with your hands, pull your hips away, like you're lengthening your body.
Lengthen, mate.
Oh, guess what? The puppy just stepped on, the laptop. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's leave it just like that. It'll be fine. Okay, so we were lengthening, pushing our hips away and down, creating space. Open your arms out to the sides, palms facing up. And I just love this movement, taking the knees side to side. Feeling, observing, checking in. Noticing maybe any difference from side to side. And next time the knees come to the right, bring the left breathe here. Look to the left and reach out to the left. And slowly change to the other side. Bringing now the left ankle over the right knee and looking to the right. Hi, Puppy. Hi, Puppy. Nice touching. Nice downward dog. Thank you. And release. Come back to center. Hug your knees into your chest. Bring the feet down to the floor about hip width apart. And lift the hips as you lift and extend the arms overhead. Hold here. Big breaths. One more big breath. Yeah, slowly bring the spine down, one vertebra at a time. Now take your feet a little bit away from your hips. So the knees are still bent, but they're not 90 degrees. Notice how far my feet are from my hips. Keep the feet together. Bring the elbows down to the floor and the shoulder blades down, shoulders away from your ears so your neck stays nice and long. Now press the elbows down into the floor. Bring the belly in towards your spine just a little bit and tilt the hips back so the pubic bone comes up and the top bone of the hips tilts back. So instead of this, increasing the curvature of your lumbar spine, it's the opposite. It's tilting back. And that creates a strong action in your core. Now press the heels strong into the floor and lift the hips just a couple inches off the ground. Keep the feet flexed, toes spreading, elbows pressing back into the floor. And take your big breaths. I know it requires a little bit of effort, but it's the effort in the right direction to release and activate parts of the body that don't get that much attention during the day. Let's take one more big breath here. And slowly release. Hug the knees into your chest. Take the knees in each hand and let them drop wide. Rock your hips side to side. Alright, and we're going to come back to that same position that we did last time. The knees a little bit away from the hips, feet flexed, toes spread. And this time, we'll bring all 10 fingertips together like we're holding a little spear in your hands. And take the arms straight above your heart. Press all 10 fingertips into each other. And as you inhale, breathe into the back of the heart as if you could expand the space in the back of the ribs. Bring the belly button into the spine, the same posterior pelvic tilt. So belly button in. Flex the feet, spread the toes, and lift the hips just a couple inches off the ground. And take the arms up overhead. Still pressing all 10 fingertips into each other. And now Gently swivel your feet, swivel on the heels. So you swivel side to side. And notice all the all the interesting sensations that you're feeling now in your hips and your glutes. And slowly bring it down, hug the knees in. No. 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 The barkers will be kicked out of the room. No, there's plenty of toys. He wants the toy that the sister has. Here, fight that. Okay. Children. All right. And let's slowly come up to seated. Take your legs a little bit wide, shake them out. Bring your hands to the floor behind you. Open the chest. Place your hands firmly on the floor, making a good connection. No. No. Come on. Come here. Think. You're going to share or you're going to leave. And shoulders back, chest open, flex the feet, spread the toes, lift the hips. And now swivel again on your heels, side to side. And notice that. How does that feel? And bring the hips down. Bend the knees, bring the feet together, knees apart. Now the cushions come in handy here. If you want to use both, you can bring them under your knees to give yourself a little bit of support here. Take a deep breath. And on the exhale, reach your chest forward, only as far as you can go. Take another deep breath to lengthen the spine. And on the next exhale, just let your head drop and let your spine round in. We'll hold here for a few breaths. With each exhale, allow yourself to drop in. Hey! You're going to go outside. He got kicked out because he's being too loud. Now he's going to be barking from outside. All right. I have to interrupt myself for the puppies, but hopefully you are still in the same pose. Breathing, lengthening, and releasing. Take a deep breath to come back up. Remove the cushions. Extend the legs, shake them out. And let's come to all fours. Big circles. Release your head. Make sure you go in both directions. To downward facing dog. And move your legs, pedal the feet. Bend the knees. exhale, take it back. Repeat twice more. And next time you come forward, we'll stay here. Now you can bring your cushions nearby to help you. Now something important with the next pose we're going to do with this, we're going to hold this lunge pose. So very important that the knee is pointing in the same direction as the toes. So don't let the toes do something weird like this. Keep the toes spreading, the foot flexing, and that's going to protect the ligaments of the knee. All right. Now if this is already enough for you and you've come to a good stretch, you can stay here on your hands with your arms extended, or you can come down onto the cushions with your forearms and rest your forehead on your hands like this. And take a few deep breaths here. Feel, scan, check in. Notice if there's any tension you can let go of. For example, your face. You can let go of all the tension in your face. Step the foot back to come back to all fours and wiggle it out. A little bit of movement here. Circles. Whatever your body is calling for. Now let's come back to downward dog. And this time take the left leg up. Bend the knee. Open the hip. Big stretch here. Exhale, step it forward, bring the back knee down, and same as we did before. Inhale to bring the chest forward and open. Exhale to take the hips back, lift and spread the left toes. Let's repeat. Lunge pose, and you can take your left foot more out to the left. Just remember, knee and toes pointing in the same direction. Now you can come down to the forearms on the floor or on the cushions, whatever feels more comfortable to you. And rest your forehead on your hands. And deep breaths here. Back to all fours and wiggle it out. All right. Now the moment that we've all been waiting for, the myofascial release with the body. I'm going to bring the camera closer, so that we can really see what's going on here. All right, and we're gonna be on the floor. Sachi thinks we're gonna play with the ball. Okay. So we'll start with our hips. No, Sachi, this is not for you. Then I'm going to open the blanket a little bit more. Okay. So I'm going to start with my left side. And Sachi, you have to move over. All right. So we'll use this same action that we did earlier of pressing the feet down into the floor and lifting the hips up so that we can place the ball where we want it to go. So what we're looking for is to massage the muscles, the glute muscles, and we're also going to move to the side of the hip, to the tensor fasciae lat. And some deeper muscles, like the piriformis, that are really tight and can be very sensitive, so it can be, there could be a lot of sensation when we get there. You just need to be patient. Sachi, we're not playing with the ball. This is for massage. And, oh my gosh, he's gonna knock off the phone. No. All right. So we're gonna place it on the side of the hip. Now, we're not going for the bone, we're going for the muscle. So we shouldn't be on the bone, we should be on the meaty parts of our glutes. And this is very much directed by what you feel, your sensation. We want to find parts that feel tight and tired and move them around a little bit. So sometimes stagnancy, staying still, or any part of our body that doesn't have enough movement becomes congested and becomes tight. So the whole point of this exercise is to bring movement and to flush out the fluids in our tissue. So when we're pressing the ball into the muscles, it's like we're squeezing like a sponge. So we're pressing all the fluids out of the tissues and then allowing the fluids to rush back in. So we're causing a little bit of a blood stop and then a new blood rush to those tissues. Okay. So if you've noticed, I've started to Sachi, stop. I've started to lean a little bit more to the side so I can get more to the side of my hip. And I'm rolling all the way across that left glute muscle. Okay, another thing that really feels good is finding a spot that's tight and then dropping the knee and bringing it back. Dropping and out. So the muscle has to flex a little bit and then release. That's a really good way to do it. So I'm finding the spots that are more sore, and then I can do a little drop and release. Oh yeah. Another thing that really feels good, Sachi, excuse me, she's not gonna let it go, is any kind of movement. So you find the tight spot and then move the leg around. Different movements. can even help the movement. So you can hold the knee and roll it around, or open it out. As long as it feels good, you're probably doing it right. Now we'll increase the intensity by going to the side. And now we're looking for the tensor fasciae lata muscle. And you can increase the intensity by coming up onto your forearm. And now notice this foot, I'm going to press it down into the floor to give me a little bit of lift in the hips. And I can even rock a little up and down and find my preferred tight spot. And if you find something that feels really juicy, you can pause there and breathe. The breath is our best ally in relaxing the body. Big, long exhales. No Sachi. We're not playing with the ball right now. She's not gonna let it go. Finding a new spot. And taking that deep breath. Any little wiggle movements. That can feel good and help release where we're tight. I went back to the upper side of the hip crest. No, Sachi. Sachi. She's not gonna let it go. Because that feels really good right there. And because I'm up on my forearms, I can press a little bit harder on the place that feels really tight. Maybe even coming up onto my hands. Ja, ja, ja. No. No. She doesn't want to let go. All right, and we're going to go to the other side. I'm going to have to put her outside. Sachi. Venga, afuera. Okay. So let's go to the right side, and we'll follow a similar process. Staying first low and rocking side to side across the glute muscles. Finding the tight spots. Breathing deep. Finding and feeling where we're tight. And maybe pausing right there to drop and lift the knee. Now, believe it or not, even if we're not exercising, if we're just sitting on our desk doing a lot of work, the muscles can still become tight. So this is very good to slow down and do this kind of self-massage for everyone, regardless of how of your level of physical activity is. So it's good for everyone. For those who are very active and those who are not so active as well. And maybe finding a juicy spot to pause for a moment and take deep breaths. And coming over to the side. So now bringing the ball to the side of the hip where it's a little bit more intense. You can also stay low here, resting your head on the arm. And there might already be enough sensation for you. You might notice that sometimes one side feels different than the other, and that's totally normal. And just allow the space and the time that each side needs. So maybe one side needed a little bit more time, maybe the other one less. That's okay. You can always come back to this and do it in your own time. All right, I'm going to increase the intensity by coming up onto my forearm. And here, I can rock back and forth using this foot to press down into the floor and this foot to push side to side or back and forth. Maybe you find a good spot and you can sink in for a moment. Feels good here to stretch my neck. So if you find any other tight spot that we're not working on directly, but maybe there's a good stretch you can do there at the same time, go for it. Whew. All right. And now I want to invite you to come to the edge of the bed. Here is the edge of the bed. I'm going to bring the yoga mats over here. All right. Let's see if we have enough space. Yes. All right. So the invitation here is to bring the feet up to the bed to give us a little bit more rest. And the ball is going to come to our low back. And just like we were doing on the floor, so we'll use the opposite side foot to push into the edge of the bed and lift up a little bit. And that is going to direct the weight towards the side where we have the ball. Relax the arms. And here we can massage side to side our low back. Oh my God, this is so good. You can change a little bit the placement of the ball. So there's a little bit of action with the opposite leg, but try to relax the side that we're massaging. And you can go a little bit more towards the side of the waist and then roll back towards the spine. Amazing. So good. And if there's a spot that feels particularly juicy, we can pause there and just let everything melt down. Take it slow, feeling and paying attention to the breath and all the sensations. All right, second side. Very good, I told you. You can sway your knees a little bit side to side. And you won't be able to see the ball so much on my right side. But you can see what I'm doing now with the opposite, with the left. Is I lift the hip to roll side to side. Adjust the ball when needed. Right on that edge of the pelvic bone, on the top edge of the pelvic bone, feels really, really good. And towards the spine. That's a muscle called the QL, the quadratus lumborum. And it gets very tired when we sit for long hours. It's always working a lot because it stabilizes our body. So again, if you find a spot that feels particularly juicy, you can release and let everything melt down. Removing the ball, take a moment to sway the legs a little bit side to side. And let's just do a quick time check. All right. One last amazing place to massage is this whole area between the shoulder blade and the spine, all this part, and as far as we can go with the ball up our shoulder. And we can still keep our feet here up on the bed. Place the ball and keep this arm relaxed. So this is the side that we're working on. And with the other hand, you can direct your shoulder and direct a little bit the movement. Adjust the ball. And rocking a little side to side to bring more weight towards the ball. Adjust as needed. Maybe even holding the ball here in place so you can bring it a little bit higher towards the neck. If you find a good spot and you want to pause, you can do that. And if you're brave, you can lift the hips a little bit to press a little bit more intensely into the ball. Can be only with one leg. other side. I'm going a little bit fast, but you can spend more time if you like with all these self-massaging techniques. So here you can't see the ball. For this one, you don't have to have your legs up on the bed, so I'm going to show it without. Just here. Here you can just lift the hips a little bit and rock up and down that area that becomes so tight and congested. If you find a good spot, you can pause, take deep breaths, maybe move your head a little side to side. And really anything you want to explore here. So maybe bringing the arm down, lifting the hips, and rolling up onto the ball to bring it close to the base of the neck, top of the trapezius. It's amazing. There's a crazy trigger point right there. This one is for the brave because it's quite intense. All right, and we'll finish up with our legs up on the bed and our hips on a cushion. So the best way to get up here is to come and lay down next to the cushions and roll up and place the hips. Relax the legs up on the bed. Make any adjustments in the cushions if you need to. And let's take the arms up and overhead. Bending the elbows and just allow everything to drop in and relax. We'll be here for a couple minutes to wrap it up. slowly roll over to come out. And we're done for today. I hope this was a relaxing class for you and that it brought a lot of mindfulness to how your body is feeling and what your body needs. Remember that the power of a simple tool as a ball, and just remember to feel what it is that your body needs and give it what it wants. So massaging yourself in tight spots, places where you feel tension, is a really, really easy way to take care of yourself. So I hope you can take this with you and use it anytime you need it. And explore. I just showed a few ways to play with self-massaging with the ball, but you can find your own particular way that works just right for you. Thank you very much for following, and I'll see you soon. Ciao, ciao.